Hello and welcome to Knights of the Roll Table, a special episode, Fur and Feathers, a Humblewood one-shot. Humblewood is produced by the Deck of Many, and it was funded in 2019 on Kickstarter, and I happened to come across a copy of the book. So we thought it would be really fun. It's a role-playing game where you can play as birds and forest creatures. It's 5th edition compatible, so the rules are all pretty much the same. It's an adventure designed for levels 1 through 5, and it contains a brand new setting, new monsters, some new subclass options for bard and fighter, a bunch of new spells, and some abilities, and a lot more. We thought it meshed really well with our style. It has a lot of fun adventure hooks. We kind of jump halfway into the campaign as level 3 characters. The art from the book is really amazing and some might say cute. So we highly recommend it. We had a lot of fun with it. And this is something that we wanted to do during our isolation time, as it were. So we hope you enjoy it. And now, Fur and Feathers, a Humblewood one-shot. On the eastern coast of a great continent lies a forest, vast between the mountain and the sea. Welcome to the Humblewood, an ancient and magical place that hums an endless song to the rhythm of life and death. A land where familiar beasts and birds grow to unusual sizes and trees can be as tall as mountains. In the early years, the humblefolk and birdfolk lived close to each other, but not all of them were cooperative. A group of marauders and brigands formed the Bandit Coalition, and the isolated villages were vulnerable to their attacks. To protect themselves, the birdfolk started to make their cities inside the forest canopies and formed the Perch Guard, bringing peace and prosperity to the realm. Until recently, the series of fires have started raging with a strength not seen since the Great Calamity ages ago. Many forest dwellers flock to the trees for protection, thinking the bandits responsible, while others feel like the birdfolk are failing to protect them and end up joining the bandits. While there are some humblefolk and birdfolk that believe that they can live in harmony, many believe coexistence is now fruitless. Can these two factions of civilization come together? This is where we come in.
We're gonna find out.
We begin with running. You see 2 feet, fast breaths. The 2 feet are white-socked, fur-covered feet. Panning out, we see a Vulpin female, a fox-like creature with studded leather armor and a short sword at her hip and a bushy red and white tail. She's running very fast. And about 30 feet behind her is another creature, but this is a birdfolk with very long legs. Jen, can you describe your character, please?
Ethel Lane looks like an ostrich. She is wearing full armor. And she's just doing the best that she can.
Ethel, okay.
Ethel, yes.
Ethel's the ostrich.
The female Vulpin says, "You took out my squad. Why do you need me? Perhaps we can talk about this." And Ethel continues to chase, but she is running with incredible speed, yet she's still moving like she knows every open space between the roots and brambles. Continuing to run, there's a good distance in front of you, Ethel. You notice that the female Vulpin has a smile on her face, and then she comes to a skidding halt, kicking up some leaves and dirt in the process. In front of her stands a tall, formidable avian specimen. Jeff, can you describe your character, please?
Yes, my character is named Desdemona Briggs, and she is a secretary bird. So she has really long legs and like an eagle face with some interesting plumage coming out the back with red and yellow feathers. If you haven't ever seen a secretary bird, highly recommend you Google it because they're absolutely ridiculous. So yeah, tall, slender, and wearing chainmail armor and a little badge, shiny badge right on the front. So stop right there, City Watch.
Desdemona and Ethel make a a history check for me.
That's a 9.
20.
Desdemona, you recognize this from the wanted poster. This person is in fact the wanted Vulpin bandit captain named Frey Meridian. And
Frey Meridian, I command you to stop in the name of the law.
You're making a mistake. The city of Alderhot will fall. And she draws out her sword. Now, as she does this, she notices on the right side, blocking one of her outlets, is another birdfolk. Zach, can you describe your character?
My character's name is Warbles. Warbles has some warrior equipment, a lyre, string instrument, and Warbles is a Sarah Luma, which is more dove-like. Sables are more pigeon-like, and Sarah's are white doves, and he has a ruff of feathers around his neck that's electric blue and canary yellow, and he's dressed in a generally jaunty and eccentric manner, and that's Warbles. Hello.
All right.
What's going on here?
Warbles comes in on the right side, and then on the left side, you see another dark bird. Matt, can you describe your character?
Yeah, my character's name is Corax Shadowplume. He is a raven clad in studded leather armor, a corvum, dark corvum specifically, if you want to research in your Humblewood book. But he's a raven. He's got a short sword and a dagger.
Nice. So after seeing the four of you, Frey it still has her short sword, and she says, listen, maybe we can talk about this. You took out my other team members. I don't have anything you could want. I don't know.
We just want you to face justice.
And then she says, okay, well, fine, but I'm only talking to the perch guard in Alderhart. I'm not telling you anything. And she puts down her sword.
I think that is agreeable.
Frey Meridian, you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say and do can be invoked against you in the court of law, etc., etc.
Corax will go pick up the sword.
Okay, so you notice the short sword is it's a beautiful crafted short sword. It has a rose insignia on it. If you sold it, it would probably be worth a lot. But go ahead and make a wisdom check.
Wisdom.
Corax.
9.
Okay, yeah, it looks very pretty, and you may have seen the same kind of rose symbol before, but you're not quite sure where.
Anyone recognize this symbol? And he holds up the sword to everyone else.
Can I see if I recognize it?
Yeah, go ahead and everybody else make a wisdom check.
Oh no, that's a 4.
It's a 3.
I am pretty sure that is a rose.
18.
Okay.
Warbles
So-
knows things.
Warbles actually does recognize this. The other ones just think that this is a very pretty rose. But Warbles, you actually recognize this rose as the insignia of a bandit captain. It is only given to bandit captains and on their swords. So the sword would actually come in handy if you were to use it whenever you talk to another bandit as more of a sort of a negotiation tactic. All right.
I relay that information.
Anything else that you guys want to do before heading out to Alderhart?
I'll just hang on to this sword. Thank you.
Now, hold on. That evidence, that has to go with the perp, okay? Let's set a perimeter and scout for extra evidence, okay? We want to get anything that has thumbprints on it, and we want to scour the area and look for additional paraphernalia.
Desdemona, literally none of us have thumbs. You can have my sword instead.
You do have thumbs, actually. I mean, you have sort of, the creatures that you are a little bit different than regular birds. So you're actually able to hold with like feather thumbs and stuff like that. So
I would love it if you were just full birds, though.
Desdemona, make a investigation check.
Oh, gladly. 19.
Okay, so because you were chasing her, you don't really find anything here. You do find on her, as you give her a kind of like a little search, you find that she's wearing leather armor, but it's pretty obviously stolen. It's not quite her size. You find a brooch that she's wearing that you can take if you like. And then there's also a bronze ring, which is studded with rubies.
More evidence. We'll have to enter this in when we get back to the station.
Okay.
Maybe that could go away and just disappear. That seems like it would be worth a pretty penny.
Or you cannot sell that. It does not belong to you.
It does now.
Yeah, that is not how ownership works.
All right. As a note, it's about midday, and your goal, the bandits that Frey was talking about, you actually pretty sure that they're dead. They're a couple of 100 feet back in the opposite direction that Ethel was running, that Frey came from. You guys took them out and sort of, because you've been working together, have come up with a way to sort of flank people that were running. So that's how you're able to do that. That the city of Alderheart is only a couple hours away, and you could probably make it there before nightfall if you were to leave. Or you could head back to the town of Winnowing Reach, and you guys know that there is a bounty, and the people at the Perch Guard would probably pay for Frey being turned in.
I believe that the best justice is that which is served expeditiously, so I would make a movement that we should take her to Alderheart as soon as possible.
Well said, Ethel. I agree. To justice!
So, your party of birdfolk, along with the Vulpin captain that you have captured, Frey Meridian, make your way to Alderheart. You're fairly confident that you'll get a good bounty on Frey. She's been wanted for the better part of a year. And as an adventuring party, you've made a name for yourselves around the town of Meadowfen and Ashborough, stopping bandits and thieves along the outside roads. But Frey Meridian is by far the most well-known of any of your captives. So right before dusk, you have travel, nothing really bad on this part of the road because it's closer to Alderheart. It's well protected. You make your way into the kind of the outer reaches of Alderheart, and Alderheart is an enormous tree whose branches block out the sunlight for at least a mile up. The tree itself contains a sprawling city hosting birdfolk and humblefolk alike. The underfall, where the roots are, finds lower-class, poverty-stricken refugees. Above it is the bright hollows, where the humblefolk live in simple homes, lit by sunlight through windows in the bark. After you make your way up through a winding stairway through the trunk market, using systems of pulleys, platforms, and bridges, you make your way to the upper canopy, and finally, the Perch Guard headquarters. Okay?
Oh my gosh.
There's duck people.
There are duck people, yeah.
Person.
Once you get to the Perch Guard headquarters, you're met by a stocky perch captain wearing a teal blue armor and a rounded helmet with some feathers on the top. He introduces himself as Gilliam. He is a strig, which is kind of like a little barn owl, and he is kind of like a guard. I can't thank you enough for this one. She's been a slippery one. We'll take her from here. The clerk will be out in a few minutes with your bounty.
Oh, thank you, Captain. It's been an honor serving you, and so happy to help the realm. Is it possible now that my application for the officership could maybe get a second look at some point?
Desdemona, we've been through this. We're not currently hiring, but if you go through the proper channels, we'll keep the file on hand. Should something pop up, I promise. And as he's saying this, there's actually another door in the waiting room that opens, and you see a short raptor guard, kind of a hawk, comes out, and he's talking to another humanoid, but this is not a birdfolk. It's actually kind of, well, I'm going to let David describe himself.
It is a what you would refer to as a hedge, but he is a porcupine. His the spines are pretty disorganized, like they were all put into different parts, like a bad magic trick, like the swords are stabbed into this basket, and he has these like kind of crazed eyes, like he hasn't gotten sleep in a few days. And he's wearing like what clothing he's wearing is like piecemeal, sort of just threw it on, and it's kind of just attached to like a porcupine like spike. And it's just like, yeah, that's good, yeah, great, all right, great. And that's my name's Ereth, Prickle Pants.
Prickle
Yes.
pants.
Yes. And so you see this little hawk raptor say, thank you for the information, Mr. Pricklepants. We'll be in touch if we need anything else from you.
Oh, of course. Thank you.
I wouldn't maybe leave the city. Just wait here until this in this fully stocked waiting room. There's some refreshments, and the clerk will hand you some information about where you can stay for the night, sort of a per diem, if you will, for giving us the information. We appreciate it.
Good, thank you. I'm not being detained or anything, am I? I'm
No,
not,
you're free to go. Just I wouldn't leave the city, just in case we have more questions for you. And
got it.
as he's saying that, Gilliam, who has his hands or his feathers hands on Frey, Frey the Vulpin instantly notices you, Ereth, and sneers, "Traitor! I should have known. How much did they pay you for turning your back to the cause?"
Oh, wouldn't you like to know? Wouldn't you? Probably more than you would ever pay me.
And she kind of lunges at you. She's like kind of shoulder checks you. And Gilliam says, "Hold on there. Easy now. Come on. Nothing to see. Come on." And he escorts her into the back, and the door shuts. And so now the five of you are in this waiting room. You're both waiting for the clerk for various reasons. And there's some places to sit. There's also some nuts and some water that you can refresh yourself with, and some seeds.
Corax will walk over to the little hedge, hop over, I guess, and he'll say, "Did I hear that you used to be a part of the bandits?"
Yes, but not. I mean, it was just really for the money, and so they didn't kill us. But I'm not in it anymore.
I was in a similar situation. It's good you got out as well.
Oh,
I too am
that's
often
wonderful.
things for the money, and so people don't kill me. Tell us your story, friend.
I mean, that's really about it. I mostly just tried to, did some muscle work for them, and now wasn't getting paid enough. So
I pull out my lyre and start being like, dun, 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 dun. Mostly did some muscle work, and that's like,
oh
as
wow,
he tells the story, like put it to some. Then they sort of paid us.
you're really good.
Oh, thank you. Continue. You're my new.
I mean, there's not really much else to talk
There's
about.
not really much else to talk about.
I don't really know any of you, but they did. The bandits
rather disheveled, like he was dressed by a hurricane. But we'll hang out with him anyway because there's nothing else to do. Continue.
Oh, thank you. Thanks. Yes, thank you. They did. Some of the bandits. They took my sister.
Oh,
okay.
They took your sister?
Yes. And they're.
Where is she now?
Well, that's the thing. They're holding her at the what I think is the bandit headquarters. I never got there. I was kind of, in one of the outlet stores,
Over by the snack table, like Ethel has been chowing down on snacks and stuff, and she kind of, her head perks up out of the seed bin, and she says, "That's really sad. Family is really important."
Ooh,
Yes.
Squad meeting. Squad meeting.
I walk over to the refreshments while they're like squad meeting.
That was Ereth, not
Just so
you.
you know, the table is a mess.
Yeah.
Guys,
What?
a kidnapping is what could break me in. Anybody pick up a bandit, but solving a king, that's what's going to get me on the force.
We can help, Mr. Pricklepants, but what's in it for us?
Well, the goodness of our hearts for helping someone, of course. Making the world a better place.
That doesn't sound like that comes with money.
Well, money isn't
I'm
everything.
sure there's money somewhere. Bandits have money. We can.
If I am
That's
the
right.
proper
As a
owner, I can
forester,
consider that.
I mean, I don't really have any money to offer, but I mean,
Hey, you weren't supposed to be listening in.
Oh,
Clearly.
sorry. I kind of snuck
It's a
over.
very small room.
Yeah, and
Corax,
it's mostly seeds. I have a hard time, grabbing onto those, so I can't really eat anything over there.
Should we help this poor hedge find his last sister?
As you're about to answer, you hear this kind of explosion, boom, coming from the room that the soldier took Frey into, sort of like down maybe a few rooms down. You just hear like a big boom, and the whole building kind of shakes. There's even a little bit of dust that comes out from one of the corners. And you just hear,
That's not good.
"Bandits! Bandits! They've taken her! They've taken her!"
oh no, did someone else get kidnapped?
No, they probably came to take Frey.
Frey got kidnapped?
She's rather important, so they probably.
Ethel Frey's the bad person. It's not
Technically,
kidnapping. It's a prison.
if anything, we kidnapped her.
All right,
Let's go over there. And I'm going to
I
use
opened the
my
door.
ostrichy running powers to go run in.
Okay, so you go through the waiting room door, and there's, as soon as you open up, you see a hallway, and there's it's kind of like chaos on the other side. There's a bunch of dust, a cloud of smoke. There's people kind of running back and forth. There's a couple of bodies on the floor, kind of unconscious, or like rubbing their temples. There's a couple of feathers floating around, and you also see a room in the back with the door open. You can see through the door, and there's a big hole in the wall, and also a bunch of kind of smoke and dust back there.
I'm going to run into the hole.
Okay, so is anybody else following?
I will follow as well.
Yeah.
I'll go.
Yeah.
Okay, so everybody's running. We are going to
move, officers of the law. Technically, well, on the side of the law, not officially in any capacity by the government,
We
but
get it.
it is.
We are good people.
you run out to
Desdemona.
You run out to the back room, and you see Gilliam, and he's on the floor, and he's kind of holding his head, and he says, "They took our bandits. They took Frey. They went that way," and he points out the big hole. And I'll catch up in a minute, but if you can get them, please, you have to stop her.
I'm running.
Okay, so all of you are running. We are going to have a skill challenge. This is a chase to see if you can catch up with Frey. So if you can think of a realistic way in which you can use any of your skills that you're proficient in, the skills that you're proficient in, I'll allow you to roll those and to make some progress. But you can only use each one of these skills once during the skill challenge. I'm not going to tell, once per person. I'm not going to tell you how many obstacles there are, but there will be a couple of obstacles along the way with different difficulty levels, and we'll see how you deal with it. Okay, so you are running forward. You run through the hole. All of you are kind of chasing. You see a couple of figures way ahead of you, and one of them is Frey, and looks like there's two other slightly shorter figures. You can't quite tell from this distance what race they are, but they leap up a building. On the side of the building, you can't quite tell why. There's people kind of in the road, and they're dodging in between. And you finally get to the building that they have run up. They've already gone, and there's a couple of rope ladders that they've attached to the top of the building. What do you do?
My eyes are on Frey, who's in front.
So she's already they went up on the top of the roof, and they've already they've already crested the roof. They had about 120 feet ahead of you. So there's a couple of ropes that looks like they used as sort of grappling hook ropes. And what do you guys do?
I'd like to use my athletics.
Okay.
To fling myself up and grab the rope so that I can climb up and pursue.
Okay. So go ahead and make a athletics roll.
That's an 18 plus 5, so that's a 23.
Okay, that'll do it. So you also have talons that you can use as an ostrich. So you have an amazing speed and pretty strong legs, so you're able to jump up. You jump up about half of this height, which is about 16 feet, and you're able to scurry with your talons, and you pull yourself up. And as the rest of your party comes, you're able to stabilize the ropes enough, and as they each kind of make their way up the ropes, you continue on. So you have passed the first obstacle.
Are they running across roofs now, like rooftops?
Well, as you see, as soon as all of you get up to that roof, you see this is a pretty long building, and as you kind of have crested the top of the roof, you see the three figures drop down on the far side of another building. So you give chase. And you're running. There's a shot of all of you from underneath, jumping over the little gap in between the buildings, kind of jumping and then you each leap down on top of that on the road from the second building, and there is a large crowd of people. You have entered the crowded trunk market area, and there's a bunch of people. There's shops. There's kind of vendors. There's people going, seed. Who wants some seed corn? Fresh corn, street corn. Who wants this water bottle? I don't know.
Get your maggots.
Fresh maggots, fresh earthworms. Ooh, earthworms.
Ooh.
It's quite a delicacy because you're very high up and there's not a lot of earthworms. So freshly imported. There is a crowd of folk, and you notice to your right, on the road, you actually see Frey, and you see the two other figures that she's with. It's these small kind of mouse folk type creatures, and they have really big mouse ears. And one of them pulls out a sack of gold, kind of winks at you, and then throws it up in the air and says, "Free gold," and then runs away. And all these people kind of, are suddenly attracted to the gold and start crowding the street exactly where you need to go. So what would you like to do?
Can I parkour my way through this? And I'll use my acrobatics.
Okay. Go ahead and give me an acrobatics roll.
Only if you yell parkour while you're doing it.
I am absolutely yelling that. Parkour! 16, 3, 19.
19 will do it. Okay. So you see one of those wooden carts, and above that there's a wagon, and above that there's a awning that is covering a couple of apples and oranges at a fruit stand, and you're able to go boop, 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 kind of jump off and then bounce off the awning, do a flip, and then land on the other side of the crowd, and you're like, come on guys.
One jump ahead
the rest of you notice that this hedge is incredibly agile, and he's just been kind of leaping over stuff. So your new kind of ally that you've been talking to, and that gives you enough inspiration to sort of take the same route. Everybody give me an acrobatics check.
Oh boy.
Oh no, 8.
Oh, 16.
8 as well.
Okay, so Ethel and Corax, you're able to kind of follow the path from Ereth, and Desdemona and Warbles, you start to do that. You actually bounce the opposite direction when you hit the awning, and you fall into the group of people picking up gold, and they're all like, that's my gold. And it kind of slows you down a little bit.
Ooh, free gold. I'll be there in a minute.
All right, you pick up, let's say, you pick up 4 pieces of gold.
Yes.
Stop it! There's no time. We got. Come on.
But you have lost a couple of seconds. So
people up there.
The rest of you run down the road. You actually notice the Gerbine turn around a corner to the left, and you follow them. And as you round the corner, you actually see Frey darting ahead. She's way up in front, and she kind of runs ahead. And the 2 Gerbine have stopped, and they have pulled their swords. And I need everybody to roll initiative. All right, they did not roll that well. So, Warbles, you are actually up first. You see these 2 little, and when I say little, they're humanoid size, so they're actually like about 3.5 feet. These little kind of mouse guys, and they're like pulling their short swords out, and they're standing there blocking the path. And you see Frey in the distance continuing to run. So Warbles is up first, followed by Desdemona.
I want to run up to them, in between them, and cast Thunder Wave, which if successful would throw each of them off to the side so we can follow Frey.
Okay. What do they have to roll for that?
They're going to roll Constitution saving throws.
It's a 15 and a 2. So I'm assuming one of them fails.
Yeah, save is 13.
Okay, so one of them is pushed aside against the wall, poof, knocked unconscious, boom. And the other one is kind of like pushed back a couple feet, but stands her ground and says,
So he'll take half damage but not be thrown, 1d8.
Okay.
And I'll say, step aside, this isn't worth your life.
And you hear the Gerbine say, I have to protect my master. And she will hold her position. Does that conclude your turn?
Yes.
Okay, Desdemona, you're up.
Going to collect her badge and say, freeze in the name of the law. Cast person on them. On Frey.
Frey, what's the distance on hold person?
Let us find out. 60 feet.
Okay, she's about 200 feet away from you.
Oh, well.
So you wouldn't do that.
I won't do that. The one that didn't move, same thing. I'll come up and I'll say, step aside, and I will cast Hand of Radiant.
Oh. What does that do?
It's a evocation cantrip.
Okay, another con save.
Con save, DC 12.
So that's going to fail.
So it's going to take 1d6 radiant damage.
Okay.
Pew!
A pew pew 4.
Okay, it takes this damage from on high, and it kind of gets shot in the side, and it kneels down and it says, oh, that hurt, and it's enough where it's not quite prone, but she falls down on her knee, and you're able, if you want to, you could probably in the moment get by this Gerbine if you move fast.
I will.
Okay.
60
So
feet.
Desdemona travels forward.
Have we named ourselves? Do people call it?
I don't know.
Other
Do you?
folks?
Corax and friends.
The Dave Matthews Band.
The Feather Friends.
Death Squawk.
Not all of those have feathers.
Death Squawk.
I like Death Squawk though.
Well, earlier you did say squad huddle, so maybe it's something with squad in the.
No, it's Death Squawk.
Death Squawk. It was
Yep.
Squawk. It's
You
Squawk.
misheard it. It was Squawk Huddle, yeah.
Oh, okay.
How do you
Death
spell,
Squad.
Minor retcon.
how do you spell squawk? Why doesn't it look right when I write it down?
It's a weird word. So I say, let's go, everyone. Remember, on this day, you've been spared by
Death Squawk.
Except
Squirrel, that
for
sounds
Come on.
cool.
We will work on that.
That sounds very cool, guys. I like that.
except for Ereth, who's like, what?
Yeah.
Okay,
they
so
just
I'll-
call us the bandits.
Right. All right. So all of you continue to follow. Now you've hit an area of the road which goes downhill. You see Frey jump on a cart. She takes out a little wedge that's holding the wheel from rolling, and she jumps on the back of the cart, and it starts rolling down the hill, gaining speed. She starts rolling down. What would you guys like to do? Someone that has not used a skill challenge yet.
Well, none of my skills will help against that.
How far is she?
Right now, she's still about 120 feet in front of you.
Oh
You
wait,
should intimidate the wheel to make it.
I'm gonna use deception to try to convince her that didn't work. so that she stops and turns around and tries to fix it.
Okay. Roll
You missed.
roll a deception check.
Natural 20.
Oh my god.
Oh, wow.
Plus 2, 22.
So what do you say
20.
to convince her? I believe you. What do you say?
Corax will say, there's another wheel stopper on the other wheel that didn't work.
And yell this out, and she's so confused. She turns, and as she turns, her sword is kind of caught on the handle that she grabbed, and it turns the wagon to the point where the wagon turns on the side. It's going really fast, and it kind of does like a, and then topples over. But she's pretty savvy, so let's see if she can catch herself rolling off the side here. Yeah, she rolled a 19. So she's able to kind of do an acrobatics roll as the cart kind of, turns on its side. And then she rolls off to the side, kind of looks back at you, and then keeps running off to the side. Now you're getting into the area of the Altar Heart, which is called the Branches. It's sort of like the upper crust. A lot of nice houses are here. But it's also, the streets become a little narrower. And beyond the branches, beyond the houses themselves, you can see patches of sunlight, and you know that it's getting a little bit thinner to where you have to kind of watch your footing going too far, too fast. So for the next part of this is considered difficult terrain.
Sorry, is she still in the cart or she's on?
She's off the cart. She's running on foot. So she's about 100 feet in front of you now, and you're running into the branches, and you go past the cart where she was on, and I need everybody to make a perception check for me, please.
This is not my jam.
Uh-oh.
13 for Corax.
11 for Ethel.
4.
3.
19 for Desdemona.
Not the worst.
Okay. None of you are able to see where she went, but Desdemona, I think you were the highest. So you actually notice, you don't see Frey, but you notice between two of the houses, a gate sort of go.
A clue that way.
Okay, so you guys follow in between this gate. It's in between these two private houses. You see these backyard area of one of the little kind of perches from the kind of an upper class family, and beyond a little hedge, there's nothing. It's sky. It's air, and it's a big drop. Right in front of that, you see Frey. And she is actually, next to her are two Mawpoks, which are sort of like a raccoon-looking creature. And they pull their swords and they look at you. And next to Frey, or behind Frey rather, there is a bigger than her, about 7 feet tall, vulture-looking bird. And he looks really rough, and he's got this kind of black vest on. He's like... and he's starting to kind of warm up his wings a little bit, and Frey is putting on a harness. What would you guys like to do? This is your final obstacle.
Oh wait, do we have to use one of our skills?
No, well, the skill challenge is now over. You've been successful in the skill challenge. Yay!
I'm gonna throw a dagger. I'm gonna throw a dagger at the vulture then.
Actually, let's have everybody roll initiative again because it's a new encounter.
That's worse. I rolled worse.
Oh dear.
Frey goes first. She continues to put on her harness and she kind of starts linking up something to the giant vulture creature that's behind her. That's pretty much her turn. And she kind of motions to the two Mapok bandits that are next to her and says, "Hold them back." And that's her turn. So Warbles, it's now your turn.
I will cast Fairy Fire on the lot, lighting them up with blue light and giving attacks advantage upon them.
Oh, okay. Fairy Fire is cast. Do they have to roll anything to...
Nope, this happens.
Okay, boom.
Wait, sorry. Outline in light if it fails a dexterity saving throw. Dexterity saving throws for all against 13.
All right, so Frey rolled a 4. That's going to fail. 7 and a 16. So one of the Mapoks succeeds, but the other ones fail.
So who passed?
One of the little raccoon Mapoks creatures.
Insignificant.
It kind of rolled out of the way, but the other ones are coated in a what color light?
Blue.
Blue light. Okay. Ereth, it's your turn.
This harness, is there a rope to it, or is there the vulture just going to pick up this harness in its
It's kind of like it's sort of like a safety harness where there's think of like a carabiner that's attached, and it's like you don't know actually what's going to happen, but it looks like there's a harness around Frey and there's some sort of rope around the vulture creature around its chest.
I don't know. Is the rope like taut at this point, or like?
It's not super taut. It's snug.
All right. Well, then I'm just gonna throw my scimitar at the vulture.
Okay. All right.
Bye scimitar.
Yeah.
Not traditionally a throwing weapon.
We're in a tree.
I'm crazy.
Well, I haven't.
600 feet below, a small child is impaled.
Okay, so go ahead and
it'll land handle up. It'll land like it'll brain them, but
I mean, it depends on the balance of the scimitar, really.
yeah, go ahead and roll an attack.
Oh boy. It's plus 6 total.
6 will miss. So you throw a scimitar. It does not go off the edge, but it goes into the bush, which a couple of inches more, and it would have actually gone like. But it actually goes and kind of gets stuck in the bush. So right now you could get it back.
Sweet. I was hoping it would boomerang like in Aladdin, but I guess not.
Unless you have a magical sword I don't know about.
It hits you in the
I
eye.
Happened before, but maybe this.
Maybe next time. Desdemona, you're up, and then followed by Ethel.
How far away now is Frey and the vulture?
This is a very high-class establishment of this house. These people have a lot of money, so their backyard is pretty big. She's about 65 feet away.
Shouldn't have told you how far it was. All right.
Well, you can walk.
You can use movement.
Close that distance.
Fair point. I will move close enough to I'm 6 feet exactly. No, most of the way there. I'm going to cast Command as a second level spell to try and get both the vulture and the and Frey together. And I'm going to say, halt right there. That's an order. And cast Command. And that is going to be for them a Wisdom saving throw, DC 12.
Oh, very excited.
That'll be for both of them.
For both of them.
Yeah, since I'm casting at a higher level.
All right.
This is like a throwing the sword gambit.
Ah.
All right.
Is it?
You see Frey kind of look at you, and she shakes her head a little bit and says, "What are you trying to pull?" And then she taps on the vulture and says, "Let's go." And the vulture just kind of looks at you and kind of.
Nice.
She says, "What's the matter with you? Let's go." Is that your turn?
Yeah, yes, that's it.
Okay. Now command. What was your command?
Halt.
Halt. Okay. So it halted. And how long does command last?
At the beginning of its next turn, it can roll again.
It can roll again. Okay, gotcha. Noted. Ethel, you're up, followed by Corax.
I'm going to attempt to tackle Frey.
Oh, to tackle her. Okay. So, what is your movement speed?
30, but I can also use my bonus action to dash.
Okay. So dash. Yeah, you would be 5 feet away from her, so you couldn't quite reach her. You could range attack her if you wanted to.
Fine, let's just hit this lady. Same. I cannot allow you to leave right now. And so I'm gonna attempt to attack her with my great sword.
Okay, roll an attack.
That's 16 plus 5, so 21 to hit.
That hits.
And that's gonna be
Roll some damage.
6 damage, and then I'm gonna use.
And we all have advantage because of the fairy fire, right?
That's correct.
Yes.
So 6 damage, and then I'm gonna use my divine smite, and that's so it's gonna be 17 damage total.
With a longsword.
Great sword.
Great sword. So Ethel comes up and then slashes across Frey, who tries to jump away, but takes a blow to the chest and the arm, and she says, kind of winces in pain. You did some good damage to her. All right, Corax, you are up.
All right.
You're also 65 feet away.
I'm going to take my 30 feet of movement and get so that I'm only 35 feet away, which isn't enough to attack. But then I'm going to use my bonus. I'm going to use my. Oh, well, I guess I could attack. I guess I could use my bonus to dash. Okay, so I use my bonus to dash. So then I'm 5 feet away, which doesn't help me at all. You're
a rogue,
so
right?
My cunning action lets me do that. And then I'm going to throw my dagger at the vulture. Because I don't think I can.
Wait a second. Jen, do you as a paladin have bonus action dash, or is that?
We talked about it because we pulled my glide.
Oh, that's right.
Flap, so it was an ostrich
That's
thing
right.
we did.
Thank you for reminding me. Okay.
I got you, Bill.
Okay. I just want to make sure because it was like two dashes in a row.
No, I got you. Yeah.
Okay.
Movement, run, dash.
But if I fall, I'm screwed.
Right.
So.
If you fall, I will catch you.
Okay.
So. Yeah. No, you're way bigger than me.
Okay, Matt. So you're running.
Yeah. So I run. I use my bonus action to get a little bit closer, and then I chuck my dagger at the what's his face, the vulture guy. Nat 20.
Nice.
That's 2 of those.
Man.
So that's 3 damage. That's even with the 2 dice.
Okay.
Daggers don't do much damage.
Vulture looks hurt.
And if possible, I would like to pull out another.
I'm sorry. Did you just attack the vulture?
Yeah.
Aw. Doesn't that undo the command?
No.
Not as far as I can tell.
It's only if something that's friendly to the vulture attacks.
And if allowed, I'd like to pull out another dagger. I have 5.
You could pull out another dagger, yeah.
All right, so short sword, dagger, end turn.
Gotcha. All right. Now it is one of the bandits' turn. The Mapok pulls out a crossbow, and it's going to fire it at Warbles, who was kind of the first one to do something suspicious. So it's going to shoot a crossbow at you for 10 to hit. That's probably going to miss.
Yes.
All right. So that misses. The other bandit is going to pull out a short sword and try to hit, let's see, who else is up there? Desdemona. Rolled a 5 + 3 is 8, so that's also going to miss.
Uh-huh.
Rats. Okay. Now the vulture is going, and it's going to roll a con save. Try to break the command.
So I think I misread it. So it only lasts one round, and it's this round since they failed.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's just this round.
So it's still halted.
It's still halting this. It has to do what I say this round. So I told it to halt, so it has to halt this round. But after this,
Gotcha.
it's free.
So it's just kind of sitting there, and it's not doing anything. All right. Which brings us back to Frey. Okay, she is going to, seeing that her vulture is non-responsive, she's actually going to pull out. She doesn't have a scimitar, but she pulls out a dagger, and she's going to attack twice. First, she's going to attack Ereth and throw a dagger at Ereth. That is a miss. That's a miss with a 10. And the second one at Ethel, and that's going to be a 23 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
Okay.
Oof.
Dagger, but it's just a dagger, so it's going to do 5 damage, piercing damage.
Yeesh.
So she goes, and then and throws the dagger, going right into your side, one of your wings, on the side there.
Oh, that really hurt.
Okay, that's going to be her turn. Warbles, you are up.
You know, in the old Bard College of the Road, a old grizzled adventurer once taught me how to shoot an arrow. So he's going to use his armed combat lessons, which is part of his Bard features, and that's going to give him, for 10 minutes, the archery fighting style. He's going to shoot an arrow at the vulture.
Nice.
He's going to add his... Oh, that's a 20.
At the vulture. Okay.
Yeah.
And the College of the Road, by the way, that's a Humblewood kind of unique thing. So some really cool stuff there.
Love it.
Yeah, the main feature is you can pick two people of other classes at some point have taught you a little bit about their class. I know a little tricks that I learned from an old druid, and I know a few tricks from an old fighter and a few other cool bard things.
20 will hit. Go ahead and give me some damage.
So I'm going to add my bardic inspiration to the damage as part of that, which was a 6, so a total of 10.
All right, Vulture is not looking too happy. Kind of takes it, stands there, just sitting there with no emotion. Ereth, it's your turn.
How far away did my scimitar go?
Oh, so your scimitar, it went past the Vulture. So it's about. Did you move up to the?
Yeah, I moved I think I have 30 feet.
Yeah.
25.
So,
I have 25 feet. So.
Oh, that's 25. Yeah, that's
closer.
right. Yeah, your legs are a little shorter.
Yeah.
As a porcupine. So you still have about 45 feet away from the bushes where your sword is.
I'll use my movement and my action to dash and close the gap and get my sword back.
Okay, you can get there. All right.
Oh.
That's your action. All right.
Aha!
Shing. Desdemona is up, followed by Ethel.
Okay. All right, I'm going to run the two...
The two Moppox.
Guys are still there? I want to attempt to run past them to get to Frey.
Okay. So you'll incur some opportunity attacks. You can run through them. You'll just have some opportunity attacks.
Yes, let's do it.
Okay. So they're going to attack you. 13 to hit.
Desdemona.
Misses.
And 17 to hit.
Ooh, hits. Oh.
Okay. That's with the short sword. That's going to be 4 slashing damage.
Hey.
One of them goes, yeah.
Oh, that's assault. That's assaulting an officer.
But you continue
You're
to
not an
run.
officer yet.
And how far are you running?
I'm gonna run as far as I can. So my full movement, 40 if possible.
Yeah, you
Get
can reach
to Frey.
You can reach Frey, and you can reach the Vulture.
All right. I'm gonna try and grapple Frey.
you're going to make a strength check. This is going to be a strength contest.
This is not going to go well. Desdemona's an idiot. Just stop right there. Yeah. 6.
Oh, she rolled a 7. Just barely. She's like, get your hands off me.
Well, you still need to stop.
More infuriating, if anything.
Yeah.
All right, Ethel is up, followed by Corax.
Okay. I want to attempt as well to grapple Frey now that I'm closer.
All right.
Ideally, I just want to sit on her as if she was an egg in my nest. I want to render her prone
roll for
by-
sitting.
Yeah.
No, there's another strength check.
Are you proficient in sitting?
After this week, you bet your butt I am.
Heyo.
Oh no!
You get advantage on
Okay.
attacks.
Well, so that would have been.
This is not an attack.
Oh no! Oh, then you're screwed.
That was a 6.
Okay, she rolled a 22. So you go to put your. Well, she rolled a 20. She rolled a nat 20. And so you go to put
That's
your
3.
feather arms around her, and
They're
she
called
kind of
wings.
just. Well, I know, but they're humanoid arms. Shut up, Matt. You got to put your feather arms. They're arms with feathers on them, and with thumbs, by the way. And she kind of does that thing where her arms are at the side. She kind of steps the side back towards the vulture, and your momentum kind of carries you forward. I need you to make a dexterity saving.
Oh no!
Uh-oh.
That's a 4.
Oh no!
A 4. Okay, you take one step a little too far, and you don't go over the edge, but you land in the bushes, and your head, your long ostrich, is now looking down several hundred feet off of the edge of this
Ooh, I do not
canopy.
like that. I do not like that. I do not like that.
And you just see, if this were a movie, you'd see the camera go, kind of zoom out. So that's what you see. You're kind of in this prone position in
Can
the
I
bush.
use my reaction to kind of pull Ethel back?
You can on your turn. That would be considered
well,
action.
Okay. All right, never mind.
Forget that.
Okay.
She's fine.
Corax.
I ain't helping anybody. Okay.
Does she seem like she's gonna fall off right now, or she seems stable
No,
enough?
she's kind of wedged in the bushes. I mean, she just kind of took one step too far. It's like she's.
I got a lot of neck, y'all. But my mass is in the badonkadonk, so I'm okay. But
Yeah.
it's scary.
Her head is over the side. It's not. It's more like It's
I need to ditch these dice right now because they're failing me.
I'm going
Corax is up.
to use my action to attack with my short sword. I'm going to attack Frey.
You're gonna attack Frey. Okay.
Yeah, and Frey was hit by the fairy fire, right?
She was.
Yes.
Okay. 20. Dirty 20.
All right. That will hit.
For
She-
7 damage.
She tries to parry, but with a dagger, which is all she has. But how much damage?
7.
7. Okay.
Yep. And then for my, assuming she's still up,
She's still up.
with my bonus action, I will use I will do my offhand attack with my dagger,
Okay.
which will
Also
probably.
with advantage.
Oh, okay. Good to know. Oh, good, because I would have missed otherwise. 23.
Oh, yeah, that hits.
That's just a dagger, and I get no attack. I get no damage bonus. So, but I got a 4. Yay! So another 4 damage.
Okay. She is looking really kind of rough.
Surrender.
The perch guard will fall, and Alderheart is in the wrong. You just don't see it yet. It's the Mopok's turn. They are going to turn around. It's kind of seeing everybody is now attacking. Nobody's attacking them. They feel so left out. So they're gonna turn around, and seeing that you're doing damage to their who they're supposed to protect, they're going to make an attack at you. So 14 to hit.
Me?
To Corvax. Corax.
I have an AC of 15.
Okay, so that misses. And then that's a 17 plus 3. That's a dirty 20.
That'll hit.
Okay, that's the other one with the short sword. Is going to do 4 slashing damage from the back. Like, you don't see it coming. It's just, Now it is the vulture's turn.
Uh-oh.
So the vulture has to make a con save, or is it just ends?
It's free, yeah.
Okay.
It only had to do it the one command, yeah.
All right.
Let it go.
So the vulture kind of goes, what the? What? And then looks down at Frey, looks at you guys, spreads its wings, which are about 15 feet wide. It's pretty big, and leaps off, carrying Frey, who has this attachment, kind of takes its claws around her body and starts gliding off of the branches and goes into the fog. And it moves, flying about 60 feet away. Into the fog, and they're gone. Hey everybody, this is Chris Daly, your Dungeon Master for the Humblewood one-shot Fur and Feathers. We hope that as you're listening to this, it finds you doing as well as you can be, but we hope that you are well, we hope your friends and family are well, and we hope that this provides you a little bit more of an escape. First and foremost, we want to say that we are working on the rest of Season 3. We've found some ways to improve our audio recording. You might be listening to this and say, like, that their audio is not as good. This is the first time that we've recorded not in the same room, and the audio is less than ideal in this particular one. This was kind of an experiment, so I apologize for some of the distorted sounds, some pops, some cut off words. I think there's a TV in the background at some point. Episode 2 actually even has some missing sections, so you'll get to that next week. But we really thank you for listening to the one shot. If you like and want to support us, the best thing you can do is leave us a review and a rating on iTunes or whatever podcast service that you listen to the show on. Visit us on Instagram and Twitter at RolledTable. A lot of the music that's in the background of this particular one shot is provided by Weston, who is not in the episode because he just had a baby, but he has been composing a lot of really cool music that you can use for your campaign. Check out Arcane Anthems on Patreon, and there's a lot of really cool stuff you can download for free, and if you want to support Weston, you can support his Patreon. Thank you guys so much for listening. We'll get back to the action, and remember to stay inside and make life an adventure. The two Mopawks kind of look at all of you, and they start slowly backing away.
Freeze! You two are under arrest for aiding and abetting a known fugitive of the state.
Okay, we surrender.
All right.
And they put their swords down.
Do you know where they went?
We should go after them.
We don't know. We don't want to talk to you.
Do I feel like I have an idea about where they, like, if I jumped off the cliff and glided down, would I feel like I know the direction that they were headed, or would it just be a total crapshoot?
You can make a nature check for me.
Nature, okay. 9.
You know the direction they're going in, but it's now that they're in the fog and the clouds, they could turn. It's hard to tell. At this high up, it's, they have enough momentum where they could kind of circle the tree a couple times if they wanted to. So it's really hard to. But you do have Ereth, who is with you and who mentioned something about knowing, about bandits.
Yes, I like I said, I've never been there, but I do know that their headquarters is somewhere. Hang on, somewhere in the mountains. Got to look it up. David's an idiot and can't remember. Ereth knows it perfectly.
Yeah. It's the Crest Mountains.
The Crest Mountains. The third spire of the Crest Mountains. Pretty sure. That's what I was telling. That's what I was telling your senior officers earlier.
Corax looks like he wants to jump off and chase him, but decides better of it.
Ethel picks herself up and scooches very quickly away from the edge.
Yeah, there's probably a better way to chase them, mate.
Warbles says, they were lit up blue. You could have just all shot things at them. They would have been fine. And you two, pointing at the two bandits, what was your plan? No harness on you. You were just going to sacrifice yourself valiantly and join us, or we can just throw you off the side after your friend.
Warbles, make a persuasion check.
23.
Oh, they said, "Oh, you're a colorful character. We'll talk to. Well, we were just told to kind of wait here, and if anybody imprisoned, we would help break them out. And so that's what we did. And I don't know where they went. Do you know?
Nope, I don't know. I'm not sure.
How did you expect to get paid, you two?
Look, the Bandit Coalition is standing up for humblefolk rights. You should know that, Mr. Hedge.
No, they're not. They're going to take your family, and they're going to take everything you have. And clearly, they already took advantage of you.
Desmo, do you want to do your pretend arrest thing with these two?
It's a real arrest. It's a citizen's arrest.
Okay,
and it counts.
Go ahead. All right, go ahead.
All right. She gets out her manacles, puts it on their hands. All right, let's get them back to the captain.
So you guys take the Mawpox back to Perch Guard building, which is now at this point, after you kind of make your way back, there's people that are starting to clean up the rubble and, sweep up some of the destruction that happened on the side. There was clearly some sort of an explosion that broke these guys out. There's a little bit of fire that's been put out now. And you talk to Gilliam, and he's, I'm terribly sorry about that. These bandits are becoming a real problem, and this is the last straw. I mean, that we had a perfectly good informant, and was gonna. She was gonna talk. We had her ready to talk, and she got away. They must have really wanted her back. So, I mean, I don't know what to do. We have to do something about these bandits. We gotta cut them off at the head, man.
Yeah, cut off their head.
We're going to still expect our fee from capturing her the first time, but if you'd like to go out again and have us capture her again for fee, then we can have.
Well, no, you're right. Well, I'll tell you what. I mean, I will give you the fee, which is 40 gold. So I will give that to you guys. But if you're able to stop the head, the bandit general, if you can find her and stop her, that would be, that might stop all of the bandit problem. I mean, well, hey, Mr. Pricklepants, we've had some information from you. I mean, you used to be in the bandits. Don't you know the name of the general?
Would I?
You've heard, so you actually haven't met her, but you've heard her name, which is Benna Saradin.
Benna Saradin is the bandit general. Never met her. She doesn't come out to the outposts all that often.
Yeah, I mean, there's only rumors, but that's the person in charge. If you guys could stop her, that would be great. I got to clean up a mess here, but I will pay you double the finder's fee, 80 gold, if you guys either bring her back alive or kill her.
Dead or alive, I like it.
Well, if we go now, maybe we can stop other people from getting hurt.
That's true. Be much obliged, and I will tell the Alderheart Council directly of your heroics.
So you want us to cut off this General Saradin's head?
No, I didn't say cut off her head. I mean, that's barbaric.
Is it a bonus if we do that?
I can't promise that. Please don't bring back the head of the general. That would be kind of gruesome. But you can bring back proof that you actually stopped her. I mean, you can't just come back and say, "Hey, we did it," and not have any proof. So, if you don't bring back the body, I need the sword.
You can really only take that if she's dead. So that's pretty good proof. I like
pretty
that.
much.
Well, I had Frey's sword earlier, and she's not dead.
Oh, now that might come in handy for you because, what you can do with that is if you're able to talk to anybody that's in the Bandit Coalition, and Mr. Pricklepants, you would know this. Anybody that's in the Bandit Coalition, if they see somebody with that sword, they would know that they're a captain in the bandits, so that they will probably trust you a little bit more. Now, it might not last a long time, but you can definitely coerce a couple of people, at least initially. And let me give you this. And he gives you guys...
Real quick, with my background as a bandit defector, would I also know these things?
Oh, you bandit defector too?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you would know some of these things. You would know a little bit about, between the two of you, between you and Ereth, you would kind of put together some things. So he gives you, from people that they've arrested, a couple of outfits, of bandit outfits.
Cool.
Like hoods and cloaks and things like that. A couple of symbols.
Are they big enough to actually fit me?
Yes. There were some that were like on bigger animals and bigger birds and humblefolk and stuff like that. So yeah, there's some that between all of you, they have enough. They've arrested enough people over the past couple of years that they have at least one outfit that would fit all.
Yeah, and I have a disguise kit, so I could help make it. Yeah. I could help make it believable.
So you now have each one of you have bandit disguise.
Ooh, undercover work. More for my resume.
I mean, it doesn't mean you have to use it, but might be good for you if you can choose if you want to use that. So good luck to you, and may the speed of the Everden be with you,
and also with you.
We won't fail you, sir.
All right, Desdemona, that's enough. All right,
sir. Yes, sir.
So where would you guys like to try to go?
The third peak of the Crest Mountains.
Yeah.
Okay. So between all of you kind of decide to go after the Bandit Coalition headquarters, the stronghold in the mountain pass. And so we'll say you take a short rest and you make your way down to through the Alderheart tree at the base, and you make your way a couple of hours travel to the base of the mountain pass. After about a half day's travel, actually, let's say this because it was towards dusk at that point. So we'll say that you can take a full rest, long rest. You rest up overnight, and then first thing in the morning, you head out about a half day's travel towards the Crest Mountains of the east. You make your way through the forest, and in the distance, you see another giant tree structure, not as big. Corax, why don't you make a history check?
14
and also Ethel.
It's a 16 for me.
9.
Okay, so
not a great roll.
I mean, you don't know as much about this, but Corax, you're able to. You've heard about this other. It's not as tall as the Alderheart, but you think that this structure in the distance is called the the Avium. And which is the birdfolk tower of libraries, scholars, and druidic magics. It's a pretty amazing site. It has these little like kind of branches that go off with sort of like topiary domes over each branch, and but it would take off your journey quite a bit. But it's kind of a cool site that you haven't seen. So you continue on.
Love it.
Solius would love that, yeah. You continue on until you reach the base of the mountains and you start heading up. The jagged slopes of the Crest Mountains tower before you. Their peaks are obstructed by clouds. You can't see the top. There is a single path ahead. The daunting ascent up the mountain looks to be the only way up the mountain to the bandit stronghold. As you climb up the mountain, the path gets more rocky, and you have to use each other to help, and larger boulders and rougher patches are in your way. I need everybody to make a survival check.
8.
Okay.
20.
Okay.
8.
15.
Okay. So Corax and Warbles, you guys are okay. Everyone else, you suffer 1 point of exhaustion.
Oh,
What was that
Which-
from?
Traveling uphill over difficult terrain. It's more labor intensive to kind of get up these like steeper ascents.
That makes sense.
You're just kind of winded, and so exhaustion. Somebody can help me out here.
Basically, first level of exhaustion, you get disadvantage on ability checks.
Yeah, so you have disadvantage, I forget how long that lasts. But I think
until a long rest. A long rest takes out a point of exhaustion.
okay. So the three of you have 1 point of exhaustion, just disadvantage ability checks. All right. And as you're kind of making your way over these rocks, Warbles, you hear a couple of rustling of pebbles kind of in the distance to your right.
I give the stop sign. And the look over there sign. No, wait, over there.
Over there, yeah.
And do I see any signs of people or a possible hiding spot?
So you actually see rising up over one of the further boulders.
Oh, no.
Kitty.
Is a large feline entity with rocky kind of crag, sort of fur encrusted, armor, and kind of a tufted ear, growls at you with yellow glowing eyes, and it goes, and one of them pops up. And then to your left, Corax, you actually notice another one pops up as well. And I need all of you to roll initiative. So first we'll have Desdemona.
6.
Ethel.
9.
Ereth.
19.
Corax.
Also 19.
Oh. Warbles.
23. I crit again.
Nice. God. And
You got 2 natural 20s, Zach?
Jeez.
Both on initiative rolls, which means
It still counts. It still counts. I'm donating $1 for, I just did 3 campaigns, so every
Nice.
natural 20, I'm donating $1 to the World Health Organization.
Yay!
That's
Too
really cool
late.
of you, man.
So we've got 5 from Humblewood so far.
Nice. That's awesome. Okay. So there is a mountain lion to your right and a mountain lion to your left. They're both about 30 feet away. Warbles is up first. What are you going to do?
Likes.
I told you about my fighter friend, right? I'm going to do that again, and I'm going to shoot a longbow attack to my right.
Okay. So mountain lion number 1, go ahead and make it.
15.
15 just hits.
Yeah. 6 damage.
Kind of. I don't know what a cat sounds like when it's hurt. Big mountain lion. Does not like it. Okay. Corax, followed by Ereth.
How far away are these kitties?
They are about 30 feet away.
I'm going to try to circle around whichever one's closer and try to sneak up behind it.
Okay. Right or left. They're both about the same distance.
Whichever one Warbles did not attack.
Okay, so you're going to do mountain lion number 2 on the left. And so you're going to kind of try to flank it a little bit.
Yeah. I want to try to sneak attack it. I want to try to sneak up
Okay.
while it's distracted by everybody else.
I will say roll a stealth check.
You got it. 19.
Okay, you're able to sneak up. Its attention is very much on Warbles, who just attacked one of its friends. So you're able to sneak up, and it does not notice you.
All right. So I have. It occurs to me I didn't actually need to do that because I haven't gone. I am an assassin.
Yeah.
So I am at my deadliest when I have the drop on the end. I have advantage on attack rolls against any creature that hasn't taken a turn in this combat yet, which would be this one. In addition, any hit you score against a creature that is surprised is a critical hit.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that counts as surprised. Otherwise, it's. But I also get sneak attack bonus. Yeah.
It is not surprised, but
I'll get my sneak attack bonus.
Yeah, you get sneak attack.
All right. So let's see. With my short sword, 17.
That will hit.
All right. And then, let's see. Sneak attack is what? Plus a d6? 2d6 plus 3. Okay. 9 attack. And then I will use my bonus to try to... Nah. You know what? With my bonus, I'm going to attack it with my... I'll attack with my offhand dagger.
Okay.
Which is here. Which will no longer get advantage or sneak, I don't think, because it now knows where I am.
Yeah, just the first one.
23 to hit.
That hits.
And 1 damage.
Okay, so total is
10.
10 damage. Corax, the dark, shadowy figure, kind of pops out, slashes at the mountain lion, and it winces in pain, turns its head, whips it at you, bares its fangs, and it is focused on you. You just did some damage. That ends your turn.
Ah!
Okay,
Yeah,
you squawk at it. Ereth, you're up, followed by Ethel.
Did the one that Corax just attacked, did that make it move any closer? No, it's still 30 feet away.
It didn't move yet.
Okay. Well, I can get closer to it. I can't attack it, I guess, because I'm 5 feet short. But I will run my full movement towards that one, the same one, and
Don't throw the bandit sword.
I'm not gonna throw it. I'm not gonna throw this one. I will. I will do my. I'll do my hedge feature. I will curl up as my action. So my AC goes up to 19. And if it tries to attack me, it takes some piercing from the quills.
And your speed increases exponentially, and you can. And if you get hit, gold pops out of you, right?
I gotta go fast.
Yeah, he does not turn into Sonic, but he does turn into a little sea urchin.
Yeah, I'm a land urchin.
Yes,
just
very
an
cool.
urchin.
So you see Ereth run forward, and right in front of the mountain lion, just go and kind of turn into a ball, and all of his quills go, kind of stick out. Very cool looking, very cool defensive maneuver. Okay, Ethel, you're up.
Okay. So I'm gonna run up to the one that was already hit.
Which one do you want? The one that Warbles hit, or the one that Corax slapped?
I'll go to the one that Warbles hit.
Okay.
And how far away is it from me? Sorry.
30 feet.
30 feet. Okay, cool. So I can reach him. And bam! I'm going to bust out my great sword, and I'm going to attempt an attack.
Okay.
And that's 13 to hit.
That will miss.
Ooh. Well...
Kind of swipe.
Yeah. That's my turn. Yeah.
All right, Desdemona. That's okay.
All right, Desdemona is going to, as a bonus action, cast Shield of Faith on herself, which will give me a +2 to AC. And then I'm going to run up right next to Ethel, and I'm going to do an attack with my mace. And I'm going to say, animal control time.
All right, roll an attack.
Okay. Go back.
With disadvantage, I think. Or no, not disadvantage. That's just for ability. Never mind.
6.
6. Okay, that misses.
End of turn.
Okay. All right. The first mountain lion, which is in front of Warbles and Ethel and Desdemona.
And now I want to taunt it too, since I cast the shield, and say,
"Okay,
onto me, foul beast."
It does not like that. It just kind of sneers at you. And so that one, it's going to kind of lean back, and then it preens forward and roars this mighty mystic roar. And and it has this kind of weird echo to it. And then you hear the rocks above you and around you start to fall towards you. I need the three of you, Ethel, Desdemona, and Warbles, to make a dexterity saving.
It's a 5.
7.
12.
5, 7, and 12. Okay. Each one of you take 13 bludgeoning damage
Oof.
and are knocked prone by a bunch of boulders. A bunch of boulders.
Flare kill.
So the three of you are prone.
No!
Okay. The second mountain lion, which is facing off against Corax, and a spiny bull in front of it, which it just kind of looks like rawr. But it's going to make a swipe at Corax.
You hear a very muffled from inside the urchin. You just hear, come on, come on.
It kind of looks at you like, oh, actually, make no, never mind. Okay, it's going to pounce at Corax. It's going to make a pounce attack. Corax, make a strength saving throw.
That's a natural 20. So that's an extra dollar for David. -1.
So 19. Okay.
Yeah.
So it leaps at you, and you dodge out of the way deftly, as you have been trained to do. So it misses its kind of that's its movement as a pounce, but it's going to make one claw attack. That is a 15 to hit.
My AC is 15.
Oh, so that just hits.
Yeah.
Okay. So with its claws, it's going to swipe. It only rolled a 1 plus 3, so that's going to be 4 slashing damage.
Ow. Bark.
Slashes at you. Okay, that's the second mountain lion. Top of the round goes to Warbles, followed by Corax. You are currently prone.
I will stand.
Okay, that's half your movement.
Doesn't matter. Got a longbow. The one, they're both still. Neither of them is close to.
You're close to it. It's standing on a boulder, which is about 5 feet above you.
So could I still hit that with a ranged weapon, or?
Oh yeah,
Then
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, another longbow strike at that one.
Okay.
I'm going to use my fated ability, which is I think a Loomis ability, and I'm going to re-roll.
Okay.
21.
That will hit.
And that will do 10 damage.
Oh, 10 damage. All right. And it does not like that. Corax, you're up, followed by Ereth.
I believe Ereth is now within 5 feet of Mr. Mountain Lion. Is that
He
correct?
is, yes.
Okay, so my sneak attack works here as well. So assuming I can hit it, let's see, 16 plus 5, 21 to hit.
That hits.
All right. And then 3, that's 7 damage, which is 19 to hit.
That also hits.
And 4, so 11 damage total.
Okay, 11 total.
And that'll end my turn.
It's looking pretty bloody.
Get him, Ereth.
Okay, Ereth, you're up. You are in spiky ball form. What would you like to
It still didn't move any closer, really, to me, right?
It did not move closer.
Yeah.
Ethel, you're up
man.
next.
Well, that was. I'll come out of the ball. I'll close the gap and attack it with my scimitar.
Okay,
That's 17 to hit.
that hits.
Dang.
Yes.
There's some damage.
1d6. Ooh, that's a 4.
4 damage. Okay. It's hurt. All right. That's your turn.
Yeah, I'm not gonna. I'll stay right next to it.
Okay. Yes. Ethel, you are up, and Desdemona, you're up.
I am going to attempt yet again to attack the lion that is closest to me.
Okay, do you want to stand up? You're knocked prone.
Oh, is that my action?
It's just half your movement.
Half your movement.
Well, I'm already on it, so yes, I would like to use my movement.
Stand up, and then you're going to make an attack. Cool.
Yes. So that was a 15 to hit.
That just hits.
Dope. Okay. So, and I'm again going to Divine Smite. So that's going to be 3 plus. So 12 damage.
Okay. Swipe at its legs. Ow. And it kind of does a little like kitty paw, kind of like ow, ow. Kind of doing that little quick twitch that kitties do.
And in that moment of finally successfully attacking it, I'm going to, in my most intimidating voice, say, "You should leave us alone, okay?"
That was roll intimidation check.
Do I have disadvantage because of my exhaustion?
You have disadvantage because of exhaustion. You're like, you should.
Okay, so that was a 19 plus 5, so that's 24. 17 plus 5, so that's a 22.
Okay. All right. It does not like what you said and is thrown off by it, but it doesn't leave. So.
It is a little intimidated, okay?
All right, Desdemona, you're up.
All right, Desdemona's going to stand up, and Warbles, is Warbles in the melee range with us?
Yes, he's kind of in your little patch right there.
Okay, I'm going to run over to Warbles, and I'm going to lay on hand, and I'm going to cast Cure Wounds. So 1d8 plus 2.
Thank you, my friend. I feel less in danger.
Have some backup.
Cleric does some healing. Okay.
You want me to roll?
Is that your turn?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, that's my turn.
Isn't that a bonus action?
I don't think so.
No. Healing word's a bonus.
You did Cure Wounds, not healing word.
Cure wounds.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Okay.
JK.
Yeah, so Zach, you can roll that. So the first mountain lion, the one that did the mystic roar last time, is going to jump down and make a bite attack at Ethel.
Oh.
That is a 13 to hit.
That's not enough.
Okay, so it misses. The second mountain lion, now seeing Ereth pop out of its spiny ball, sees a new because the other one was very fast. So it's like, oh, I'm gonna swipe at this one. It's going to make a claw attack, and that will probably miss. It's a 7.
That is a miss.
So it swipes, also misses.
Gotta go fast.
Yeah. All right. Top of the round is Warble.
All right, I'm gonna take another longbow shot at this tiger. They're both up right now. Which one looks more?
The one that you're attacking, the one that you're attacking looks kind of weak.
I've had about enough of this. I'm gonna give it another longbow shot for 17 damage. Yeah.
17 damage?
No, 17 to hit. 10 damage.
17 hits, and you take it out. Woo! Falls back on the boulder, slumped over. You hear kind of like a, and it is unconscious. Yeah.
I turn to the other one and I do my best cat impression, like cat roar.
Make an intimidation check.
Yeah. 15.
It turns to run away.
Hey.
You better run.
You can try.
Well, you get an attack of opportunity.
Oh, I thought he had to wait till his turn to run.
No, because he's just going to run. If you want to attack, you can.
Heck yeah. 23 to hit.
That hits.
7 damage.
Okay, 7. It doesn't take it down, but it's definitely bleeding from the side, and it's kind of limping a little bit. Kind of goes off, 60 feet away from you, turns around, kind of licks its paw, and it kind of bares its fangs and runs off.
I point my feather finger at him and say, "Don't come back."
All right. So you have chased off the mountain lions. All right. You have successfully defeated some mountain lions that tried to attack you along the way.
Does anybody need any healing?
I could use a little.
Do we want to take a short rest or continue on?
You take a short rest if you like.
Rest.
It doesn't matter. Then I'm gonna lay on hands myself for 10.
Okay. All right, so you heal up and you continue on up the mountain path. You feel the air getting thin as you're high in the atmosphere. There's a chill in the wind as it ruffles your feathers or fur, respectively. You peak. Finally, you get over to where it looks like you can't really go much further, and you peek over a craggy ridge to see a building embedded in the rock. Its outer walls are fortified in stone with parapets on the high 100-foot walls and a drawbridge connecting the main road. There are some other inner buildings, but it's hard to make out because of the outer fortifications. You have reached the bandit stronghold of the Crest Mountains.